using new group. So I always have to like review the session before because I have different people. So that's what we're kind of gonna do today. I'm gonna have you sit for now, and then I'm gonna bring you back.
I don't mind. Let me just get my camera because I want to video you. And turn off my phone too, probably be good.
So today we were advertising and promoting our special guest Carrie Thompson this morning, which is so cool because I said to Carrie, "This is my last class. I'm feeling kind of sad, but I really want to give our agents a little bit about Popeyes. Popeyes in reference to referrals. How do you Popeye? What's a success?" So when I was telling her, she said, "I can come and do that. I can show you. By the way, I can do Popeyes. I can show you CNA Popeyes. I can show you my listing packet. I can show you my buyer's packet." And she said, and because Wanda, this is a word. There's enough for everybody. I'm not trying to hide my secrets. This lady's been in business 23 years. I'm sure there's something she can share. I think we're all like spider webs. We're all connected. And everybody started somewhere. My first year in real estate, I did a total of $6,000 GCI, period. And I went from that point all the way to being the 4th highest volume producer in units sold in the country out of 90,000 agents. We all start somewhere. And so it's just, as a coach, as a master health and wellness coach, as a career coach, as a spiritual coach, it's just my greatest honor to uplift, motivate, inspire, and make a difference in the lives of someone else, as someone did for me. So for Carrie to come in and say, after 26 years of being in the business, I just had my 80th birthday.
Yeah.
So I've been in the business 4 years because I had more time. I had more time to live through these years. Selling over 3,500 homes, closing. That's a lot of experience. Would you agree? So let's give her some love for sharing with us. So let's put it all together because there are people here that weren't here for the last sessions. And here's a little bit about what we covered over the last 10 sessions. We talked about success principles. It's really important. Principles of life are 2 times 2 is 4. There's no other way to do it. It's a principle. 2 times 2 is 4. There's life principles that, and there's success principles. And those success principles, if you use them and if you understand them, you can get in alignment with them and get in the flow of them if you understand them. So if you're stuck somewhere in your life or in your business, and the success principles that have been around forever are not something that you're paying attention to, this would be the time to take a look at those. And so how do we do those? Our success principles, we talked about exterminating ants. In order to have a growth mindset, as opposed to fixed mindset, a growth mindset says I can do anything. Show me how to do it, give me the strategies, and watch my smoke. I can do it. That's growth. Fixed is, I'm born down, I'll be down, and my results will always be reflective of a down person. And sometimes we're in relationships where people try to keep their thumb on us. Anybody ever experienced that? Make you feel that you're not all that. So when you understand that there's a growth mindset and a fixed mindset, you can say, hey, that's you, that's not about me. I'm in the growth. And sometimes we are growth on some things and fixed on others because we don't think that we can do it. When I got into real estate, I had already been in my own business. I was the first woman in the country to own and operate her own security guard company. In over 10 years, hired over 3,500 men and women in my community. So when I got into real estate, what do you think I had, a growth mindset or a fixed mindset? Let's hear it.
Growth.
Growth. So when I'm coaching people, I ask them to step back and think about what they've already done in their lives. Even if it's not about real estate, what have you already done that proves that you can do this too? And then the ants, the automatic negative thoughts. The ants that trickle in our brain that keep us negative. So in order for us to embrace a growth mindset, we got to exterminate the ants. And that's what we talked about. And then we talked about SMART goals. Anybody ever heard of SMART goals? With the acronym specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Just to make a goal is not enough. They need to be SMART goals. So we talked about how to make them SMART, and then how to track them. You know, to have a goal is one thing, but then to be able to look back and see what you've accomplished or haven't accomplished, what's holding you back, really important. So we talked about that in one of our sessions. And then we talked about the power of knowing yourself. This is huge. Knowing yourself through the DISC, the DISC. Anybody heard of the DISC personality profile? Yes. It's really, really an important assessment. And I think it's important because it allows you to know what your biggest fears are. And if you know what your biggest fears are, for example, a D, the biggest fear is being taken advantage of. So if you know what your biggest fear is, and an I, your biggest fear is, as an influencer, it's rejection. So rejection is a big fear. How about you put yourself in a lead generation in your business kind of activity where you're going to be rejected?
Yeah, I ask myself that all the time. No.
Say again?
I said I ask myself that all the time.
Yeah.
Why do I put myself in this position?
I know.
And that's a really good question and a relevant question. And here's the deal. You can lead generate a number of ways. So you can choose the one that flows with you. I'm the I don't like rejection. And yet I was out there knocking on cold doors like Mike Ferry said to you back in the day. And being rejected. People wouldn't look out the window, they wouldn't even open the door. And I was hoping they wouldn't open the door.
Right?
So how could that even be successful?
Now they're out the door, ring doorbell.
Right. They can see you coming and say, no, thank you, before you get up to the front. So knowing yourself, and finally, I said, I don't have to do it this way. First, I can make calls because it's rejection a lot quicker than walking. Secondly, I can do something that where you like to talk, you like to teach, why not give some classes, do some open houses, other things. So know yourself was one of our classes. And then know your clients. Because if you know your clients and your clients aren't responding the way that you feel that they should, you can kind of pigeonhole them. If they're an accountant and been on their job for 20 years, they're probably a compliant person. Compliant, dot the I, cross the T type person. What is your biggest fear? If you know that, it'll help. Your biggest fear is making a mistake. So if their biggest fear is making a mistake, then we as agents need to comfort them that they are moving in the right direction and give them all of the evidence that they need, right? Makes sense? So that's one of our classes our workshops that we covered. Know your client. And then because I'm a master health and wellness coach, I understand a couple of really, really significant things. Number one, Part of our success, a lot of our success, almost all of our success has to do with our energy, our emotional energy, our physical energy. Especially us women, you get to a certain point in your life, or you have children who are taking a lot of your younger children. How many have younger children? So I've coached thousands of women. I've coached thousands of women over the years, and I've had experiences where women were over drinking because they were either frustrated or they are overwhelmed or trying to calm down anxieties of sorts, not eating well. And then they wonder why they can't move. They're not exercising. And they wonder why things aren't happening for them, because this is the kind of business, if you don't make it happen, it's not gonna happen. If you don't get up in the morning and get it going, it's not gonna happen. Nobody's gonna knock on your door and say, will you list my house? Will you show me? It's not gonna happen that way. So it takes our energy. We gotta get up, we gotta move. So this class was about that. This class was about what do you eat, what nutrition, exercise, mindset, self-talk, all of that. This class was about that. And then I wrote a book last year about kidney disease. And I did that because I was afflicted by that kidney disease. I'm now in a place where I'm in a really good place as far as that goes, but I wanted to share this information that 40 million people in this country have chronic kidney disease, and 90% don't know it. That's astounding. And the top victims of chronic kidney disease are people of color and Asian people as well. I really feel I want to spread that information, because doctors are not your friends all the time. You got to be your own advocates for our own health. You get blood work, you need to say, what is this? And what about my kidneys? Am I okay? And are they filtering? What's going on? So I wrote a book about my own journey, and I gave a class basically on nutrition and the aspects of a ritual that will help you to learn to eat well, feel well, and take care of your body so that you can be 80 years old and up in front of a group of people and talking and sharing and loving on them. So, and then part of that class was, how we have inflammation pain is where that comes from and how to control that. So empower your body, empower your success. A real powerful class. Copy of my book on Amazon.
Is that number 3 or 4? Your book, how many is that?
3.
3, okay.
Yeah. So then our last strategies, Claudia, our last classes, we moved into business by referral. And the reason that we did this is because a great percentage of people after interviews said that they would use the same agent again if they could find them. If they could find them. They loved their agent, but their agent didn't stay in touch with them. So they got lost. They fell through the cracks. And there's a system for that. Brian Zaffini's made a whole lot of money on just business by referral. So I kind of, shoplifted some of his processes, and also an agent named Coach Kimberly Oxford, business by referral. This isn't new, it's been around forever. But sometimes agents don't know how to put it together because there is a strategy. So we talked briefly about that. We talked about how to compile your list. Get it out of your phone. Get it into a CRM. How to choose a CRM. how to use a CRM, so that it is automatically keeping you front of mind of your client. I tell the story about how my brother, as I was a Freddie Mac agent, for Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, and about a dozen other REO banks during one time, and how he went to another agent to get a property that was owned by Freddie Mac. And I was like, you didn't come to me, I could have helped you, I could have this, I could have given you inside track. And he said, you? And I said, yeah, me, I'm an agent. And it never, I didn't keep myself front of mind for him. He saw me as his sister. He never ever thought about asking me a question about how he could get his first home, by the way. So that kind of confirmed what I already knew to be true, but I didn't see it in my own life. Then we talk about how to ask for testimonials. A lot of agents are skittish about asking. Anybody skittish about asking for a testimonial?
No, not at all.
Anybody though? Is there anybody that kind of, no? A lot of people don't. Paulina, yes. Thank you. A lot of people don't. And so it's really important because they're your biggest fans. I mean, and we do so much for them sometimes. Sometimes have you ever had a really tough transaction? I've had agents that say, I let them stay, move in with me for one night so they went to the escrow close tomorrow. I wish I had, because they are a piece of work. And then, you have something that where you go beyond the call of duty, you do something like that, and then you don't stay in touch with them and you don't ask them to give you a referral. Carrie, Wendy, and we're going to be doing it back and forth today. Because I have, questions and I want her to share. But she's, to me, the queen of referrals, of testimonials, of having people give her testimonials and then posting it. It's not just enough to hold it. Why? Because generally, I know my daughter is a chef. She's a holistic chef. Whenever we go to dinner, she says, Mom, let's check and see the reviews. Anybody do that? Let's see what kind of place we're going to. And people will tell you, don't go there. This horrible service, food sucks. And you know. Or if they say the atmosphere, the food was amazing, then you know too. So how to ask for referrals, how to break bread was the other one. How to have lunch with your clients or have some breakfast, or again, keeping yourself front of mind. Yes. So then the closing strategy that we're covering today is Popeyes. We're gonna have some interaction with not only, what is a Popeye gift. Brian Buffini talked about little Popeye gifts. In fact, there is actually online an app or a site where they show you what kinds of Popeyes. Things like, and you may have seen this, like a little kit that says it has ketchup, mustard, and relish in it.
Yeah.
And it says,
Yeah,
I'm gonna, and it uses all of those for acronyms. I'm gonna catch up with you, and I relish your, that kind of thing is, and how you do that. Because you don't want to get stuck in the house. You don't want to be there for an hour. I'm on my way. I have something to say. I'm going to be gone. That kind of thing. So,
I don't even knock. I just leave it at the door and run. It's so silly.
Exactly.
I don't have time. I know.
Exactly.
It's so silly.
They know it's you. Your picture's on your card or whatever.
So here, yes, I take a picture of it.
And you know what? At the end of the day, Claudia, you've done what you wanted to do. You're front of mind.
Yeah.
Right? You come home and you go, oh, cute. Oh, she's so sweet. That was so nice.
They see you on the Ring camera.
Yeah. So after I talked to Carrie, those were our 10 sessions this past year. And today we're going to close out Popeyes and we're going to do CMA Popeyes.
Oh, you're gonna grab a picture.
So I grabbed a picture of Carrie doing just that. So you know she's not lying. She's out there. She's got on her jeans, her short, whatever she had on pants. So let's give her some love and have her come on. Please have her ask you guys.
Oh my goodness, that is so funny. Well, thank you, Ms. Wanda, for having me and having me here.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Of course, of course. So, good morning, everybody. For all of you guys that are here that have not checked out yet, because we know the months of November and December, everybody checks out. So, guess what that means for you guys? More business, right? So, I want to thank you guys very much. And also, I want to ask you guys, what are you guys thankful and grateful for today? And I'm going to pick on a couple of people. So Jennifer, you're number one. What are you thankful and grateful for today?
My health. I'm
Yes.
thankful for my health, my family, my work family.
Good. Karen?
Benadryl, because I have a sinus. The
David?
winds are getting me.
I'm on an 86-hour fast and I feel phenomenal today, actually. It's my
Woo!
first day. Yesterday was a struggle, so that is the detox.
86?
Yeah.
I did 72. 86 is hardcore.
Yeah, light fast, yeah, it's crazy. It's been good.
Wow.
Good. Well, I'm grateful and thankful to be here today. I'm grateful and thankful that the sun is out today, not the wind. And I'm also grateful and thankful for the transition that has happened in my life in the last week, which is my little grandson that is 6 years old has come to stay with me Monday through Friday, and he's going to a private school now. He wasn't doing so well in a public school, and so now he's going to a little private school. So those things I'm really grateful and thankful for, and things that I never even thought was possible with a little bit of my story, but won't go into my story. But I just wanted to let you guys know that how I wake up every single day is something that I'm grateful and I'm thankful for, because we all know that as soon as we wake up in the morning, who's the first person that tries to attack us? Tell me.
The enemy.
Exactly, right? First thing in the morning, wake up in the morning, before our feet hit the floor, it's the first thing that happens is the enemy tries to get into our head. And so I have, over the last, I guess you said 26 years, it's going on 26 years, that I've been in real estate. And when I first started, I wasn't like that. I'd get up, jump out of bed, roll, get ready, and didn't know what I was going to do for the day. It was like I was going to shoot from the hip. I had no mentorship. It was sink or swim, baby. Some of you know, being in that business back then, it was, you just got out there, you just did it. And so what I've done over the last, probably more or less the last 5 years, is really put together working on my mindset. I'm being honest and very transparent up here, is that I've been sober for 9 years. Prior to me being sober, I would get the work done. I had accounts. I did well. I did okay. And all that stuff, but I had the brain fog. I had stuff, and I wasn't doing what I'm doing now. Okay. So sobriety has been one of the biggest, best changes in my life, and I continue to do all of the things that self-develop me. And Wanda has been my coach for the last 20 years, and even still to this day. So those things are things that I decided that I wanted to change about me, because I made a commitment that when I went to get my real estate license, and I was going to take the test, and I was going to do all of that, not only a commitment to myself, but to my family, that there was no way I was going to go out and go get a second job or do something, because I made a commitment of being in real estate, and I was going to do whatever it took. So hungover, brain fog, whatever it was, I did it, right? But I wasn't always doing it the right way. So after the 9 years went by self-development or whatever, I decided that I really wanted to go full force in and be really, really committed to my career and what I'm doing. And I chose the path of still being an agent. But then I started, my calling was, I wanted to start mentoring agents. I wanted to start teaching other agents what they could be doing, especially in our newest generation, as a lot of us are leading by example now for the new generation, right? So I wanted to kind of change that. Was like my calling. So I am still a real estate agent. Well, I don't consider myself a real estate agent. I consider myself a community market leader, because I work in all aspects of real estate. Not only am I a mentor, I'm also, when I meet with certain clients and I do referrals, which I don't produce as much as I used to, but I still produce, I'm a community market leader because I want to know everything about the community and I want to be able to share that information with them. And so I don't know why my eyes watering a little bit today, just for some reason. Yeah. So anyways, so moving on to that, there's a lot of things that I want to share with you guys. I live in an abundance mindset. I do not live in a scarcity mindset. There's plenty of business to go around to everybody. When I worked in another company, I'm not going to say who it is, but when I worked there, the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Nobody wanted to share anything with anybody. Everybody's in their office and they were just doing their little thing. Nobody wanted to share what they did, right? Well, guess what? I don't live in that mindset. You know, I live in an abundance mindset. The more you give, the more you share, the more you do, the more it comes back to you. And so that's one of the things, that's how I live my life from day to day. So I want to start out kind of what my morning routine is like, just so that you guys know. So I'm, and you don't have to follow my morning routine. These are just what I do. Not everybody has to do it. Everybody has their own way. I'm giving you guys just kind of examples of what I do and what works for me. And I truly don't experience any anxiety because I know what I'm doing every day. I don't experience any depression. I don't drink anymore. And I don't have any toxic relationships. And that is all from mindset, coaching, developing yourself, wanting more for yourself, and believing in yourself. The biggest thing that you need to do is to believe in yourself. So before that devil gets in or that enemy gets in, here comes my husband to support me. I'm just kidding. Hi. Hi.
Hi. Wait a minute. You said you weren't in any more toxic relationships. You shouldn't eat.
That's toxic. Is that cake market? That's a whole my little pizza. I'll go in there real quick.
So I'm going to start off with you guys, and I'll show you guys and give you guys what it is. I start off with a daily sheet every single morning. This is a sheet that I was taught by one of my coaches on why it's very, very important to have a daily sheet. Back in the day, we used to write it on our notepad, and then you'd leave that notepad somewhere, and then you'd have to go find another notepad, and then another notepad, and another notepad. And next thing you know, you got things written down all over, but you didn't keep track of them. Well, I found a way to keep track of my things. Not only do I do it on my phone, because I want to make sure I set alarms on my phone, which everybody hates my alarm in the office because it goes off every 2 hours, but I do a daily sheet every single day. The purpose of this daily sheet, let me grab my glasses because I'm catching up to Wanda. So the reason I do this daily sheet, and I do it every night before I go to bed, is because it tells me exactly what I have to do every single day. Mentoring a team, running a team, multiple different personalities, clients calling, kids and the little guy at home, a husband, which is the biggest part of it. All the things that we do in our life, right? We have so many distractions that happen. So if you're not writing your stuff down, you're not keeping track of what you're doing, and you're not allowing yourself to have certain time frames in between of what you're doing to take a break or to just kind of reset, you're gonna wear yourself out. So this is the daily sheet that I use, and I'm gonna give you guys all samples when you guys leave today of the things that I use. Okay, so one of them is I write down at the very top. These are the most important things that I'm gonna focus on today. Okay, and then what I do is I write down what time did I wake up? So I woke up at 4:30, 5 o'clock, worked out, and then just kind of gives me spiritual. My son, I got him ready for work. I'm ready for school. Preparing for today. I was on a coaching call already this morning at 8 a.m. It's called an accountability class that I take at 8 a.m. every single day. I'm on about 4 coaching classes a day. I have 4 different coaches. I have a fitness coach, I have a mindset coach, I have a business coach, and then I also do other coaching. And then, so all the things that are crossed out means I've already done these things today. Now there's a few things that I haven't done, which is I showed up today, and then also right here with Wanda. And then these are all the rest of the things that I have to do. And
So what sheet is that on?
So this is on, it's just basically, it's called the daily sheet. So it's a daily habit sheet. That's the name of it, okay? The next thing that I do is I map out my day. What is my day gonna be like? I read a manifesto, which we will read at the end of this class. I attend Skin in the Game at 4 p.m. every day. Skin in the Game for me is what is the one thing that I'm going to do in the next day that's going to keep me accountable of what I'm going to do. And I have to be on a group with about 300 other agents and tell them what I'm going to do. So it keeps you accountable by doing a Skin in the Game, okay? That's every day for me. I chose 4 o'clock. And then I do 10 videos. My videos are, hey, John, it was great meeting you over at the Builder on last Saturday. I'm so glad that I got a chance to meet you and your family, and I loved it that you loved model number 3. Did you get a chance to fill out the application through the Builder, and where are we standing right now? And I do a video because video speaks so much volumes right now. Okay, I don't call and say, hey, I'm checking in. How's it going? No, that takes your standards down. What I do is I call with a purpose. Hey, the last conversation that we had, we talked about this. We talked about this is what we were gonna do. This is what we said we were gonna do. How's that going? And I bring up the conversation because that takes your standards right back up, right? So that's what I do with my 10 video calls. Plus what Wanda says, it keeps you where? Top of mind. And when I do those 10 videos, I don't always ask for business. Maybe I'm just a resource because they don't want me asking business over and over and over. But imagine if you're doing 10 videos a day, Monday through Friday, for 30 days, how many people can you hit? That's one way of getting business, right? We say that there's 3 different ways that you should be getting business. Marketing yourself, community market leader. Maybe you go to a neighborhood and you talk about a specific neighborhood or a niche. Maybe you're in divorces. Maybe you're in luxury homes, whatever it is. You should have 3 things that you really are a master at. And then after you master those things, then you can move on to something else, right? You can move on to a different thing. But there's 3 things that you at least want to master, okay? So I do my 10 videos every day. Sometimes it's hard to come up with content. That's why we have ChatGPT now. So we didn't have ChatGPT 26 years ago. We had to figure things out. And then the other thing that I do is pay it forward. Pay it forward is very important to me. Whether it's a compliment to somebody, whether it's just you're shining some love on somebody. The way that our world has been lately, it's just people are so divided, right? And we need to show each other. Nobody even likes to take phone calls. I remember back in the day when the phone would ring and you had a cord and everybody in the house would fight for the phone and they would grab the phone and they would go hide behind the chair and somebody wanted to answer. Now everybody just hits decline. They don't want to answer the phone. So, it's really, really important. So pay it forward for me is something where I can give or do something, and it doesn't have to be materialistic. It could be a compliment. It could be anything, but paying it forward, making sure that you're, just communicating, collaborating, being a community, sharing things with people, okay? So for me, my giving back is this. I'm just kidding. Okay, and the other things I do is what am I grateful for? Okay, obviously, my relationship with God is, whoever your higher power is, whatever it is that you do, is my faith. I'm grateful for that. Obviously, my health and my fitness, I'm grateful for that because if I don't take care of myself, I can't take care of anybody else, right? And then, of course, my family, and then my business. Okay, so my business is last, even though, it's still there, it's there, but I want to make sure that those are the things that I'm grateful for. And then I write down what's called $1 million movers. What are the things that are going to make me move? So you can call them daily activities. You can call them money-making activities. These are $1 million movers for me. What is going to make me move the needle that I'm going to make money? What are those things, right? So for me, it's door knocking, it's CMAs, it's phone calls, it's meeting with my agents, it's one-on-ones. What is going to move the needle for them? And then also, I'm in the middle also of doing buyer and sellers courses. Right now, I'm doing where I'm creating a buyer's course and a seller's course, and it goes onto my website. So if a buyer says, hey, I'm interested in buying, what is the process that I need to do? There's different ways that you guys can do it, right? You can send them videotapes, you can do whatever, but mine is an actual course, okay? So it takes them through the course, it's 5 videos, buyer side, seller side. Another thing that's a money-making activity for me is a seller seminar, a buyer seminar, right? They're fun. You get together with people people show up, they show up. If they don't, guess what? I'll put Minnie and Mickey right there and I'll talk to them and I'll do it to them, right? So as long as you're showing up, all you gotta do is show up, which you guys should all give yourself a hand for showing up for today,
Yeah.
honestly. Okay. Second thing is just consider myself a community market leader. And then on the bottom part right here, it's called thriving. We want to thrive every single day. I know for me, when I hit my head down on the pillow at night and I know that I accomplished, you don't have to accomplish everything on your list. 1 to 3 things is great. Don't feel like you need to accomplish everything, but the more that you accomplish, the better you feel. You go to bed, you lay your head down, you're like, man, I had a freaking successful day. I got this done, I got that done, I followed up with my clients, I spoke my one-on-ones with my agents, I did this, I touched lives, I impacted people today. And that's what Wanda teaches you about impacting people, right? Because that's the business that we're in. We want to impact lives. We want to impact people buying homes. We want to impact the new generation that they don't know anything, right? We want to do that. We're impacting lives. So that is called thrives for me. So in between the thrives, I should have brought y'all a sheet of this, but I will give you one. There's also where you work 25 minutes increments. It's really, really important to take a break, okay? Because if I know me, I will sit in front of a computer and I will literally forget to eat, forget to get something to drink, and even forget to go to the bathroom because I'm in the middle of my thing, right?
I might have some kidney issues.
I don't know. It's not at all. I just won't go because I got shit to do, right? So I have to remind myself that I need to work in 25 minutes of increments and then take a break for 5 minutes. You can do 2 hours if you want, if your blouse, whatever. But I do 25
It's really
minutes.
hard for me, the taking a break after 25, because I'm so engrossed in it, I don't want to leave it. And
Yeah.
I'm so into it, but I know it's important.
It's important. So you can do 2 hours. You can do flip. You know what? You can turn your phone over, and I recommend flipping your phone over. Don't look at your phone. Set your timer for 2 hours or 25 minutes, and then get up, take a break, go walk around, go outside, get some vitamin D.
And what does that do?
Make a phone call.
It refreshes you?
It refreshes me. It takes me away from a second. And then if I'm not done, I go back again and I finish off where I was and I spend another 25
And
minutes.
sometimes when you do it, I think you have creative ideas that come up while you're taking a break, right?
Taking a break, maybe
Well,
I'm making
you
a
go like,
phone
oh, yeah.
call, maybe I'm whatever, maybe something comes to mind.
Calm down.
Definitely the real reason is go to the bathroom and reset.
Yes.
Get a drink of water, okay? Because sometimes we need to be drinking water throughout the day, right? So those are my 3 reasons of why I do that every 25 minutes to do that. And then plus I want to walk through the hallway. I want to see what my agents are doing. Hey, you need something from me? Are you guys doing okay? Is there something you guys want to talk about? I want to go by. I want to visit with them. That's part of a team. It's being a community and collaborating. I want to go see what they're doing. I want to ask how I can help them. And
So we've got 10 minutes left.
I'm gonna make it really fast. Okay, the next thing is just you're thriving. What are the things that you need to do that day to thrive? And I just write them down. And then on the bottom right here, I write down additional things I need to do to thrive. So daily sheet, I highly recommend. I'm gonna give you guys all a copy of one of these to help you guys out so that this is what I do. It works really, really well for me. And it's very rare that anything falls through the cracks when I use a daily sheet like this.
You fill it out the night before?
I fill it out the night before, so that way the next morning when I wake up, I already know what my day's plan like, okay? So that is my daily sheet.
I really wanted you to share your CMA drop.
I'm gonna share a little bit. Another thing that I do is my manifesto. So do you guys all have a manifesto? Everybody has a different manifesto. You believe in yourself, you're innovative, all of those things. So this is on my wall. I took it off my wall just to show you guys. But I have a manifesto, and I'll share that with you guys at the end as well. But let's talk about what Wanda wants to get to here. Okay. Oh, I did bring a daily sheet to show you guys, so I can make copies of these for you guys.
Maybe I can get Justin to make us some
Yep,
copies.
you can make some copies there as a bring those.
Last
All right,
official
so
meeting.
this is my CMA drop-off, guys. They're bulky, they're big, and it's not a notepad and a pen. You remember back in the days when we used to drop off little plastic baggies? Sign them on the door and there's a notepad and pen. Well, guess what? Everybody does that. So I want to do something different, and I want my stuff to stand out. So basically what's in here is a little, I'll go through here and show it to you. It's a little You might wanna hold these, Wanda. This
Yeah.
is a little thing of honey, so they put on their toast if they want. It has my business card.
I'll pass it around.
I got some of Marlena's, little trinkets in here, you know, Marlene is my title rep, so I got some stuff for her. And then right in here, I have, what are the reasons that you wanna work with me? So who am I? Okay. Those are mints. Yeah, you can have it. Why do you wanna work with me? And then I have our newsletter, a little newsletter about us, right? It's a little newsletter you can open up, it's a trifold.
This is about the team.
That's about the team. And then what we do here, which my wonderful husband has put together for us, this is called a CMA. Basically, it's a CMA market analysis, right? And then I go into a specific neighborhood. So this is what I show first, is the CMA, okay? So it lets you know that there's a CMA of what's going on in the area. I do not do a specific CMA for a house unless they raise their hand and they go to my funnel and they register and they raise their hand that they want a CMA. So what I do, and then behind that is because I'm hitting this particular area, we have a little letter. So this one is Day Creek neighborhood, this is where I live. They all know me there because I do events, I do all kinds of stuff, I do giveaways, I do everything, so they know me there. Behind there, they can scan this and takes them directly to my website, takes them directly to all of that. The next thing is, here's the CMA drop-off, okay? So this is a CMA drop-off, oops, go up this way. And then it basically just says a little bit about the Thompson Bailey, because recently I've just merged. And then in here has a little bit of information, and it just tells you about the neighborhood, what's sold in the neighborhood, what's active in the neighborhood, and what is, and then it has a picture of the team. And then also, just what's sold. This is really all that I want them to see, because they have not opted in to get an actual CMA. So this is just letting you know what's going on in the neighborhood. This is where they see the pricing, because
What's your radius? How far out do you go for your neighborhood?
so I go to, there's 3 different markets that I have right now. So they're all local in Rancho.
Yeah.
So I do Etiwanda Estates, I do Day Creek, and then I also do another neighborhood over by off of right behind the mall.
Okay.
Those are 3 areas that I do, and I do, so just so you guys know, when I do CMA drop-offs, I do 25 a week.
I was gonna say, okay, so these are just to your farm area.
Your farm area, this is just your farm area, and I do 25 a week. You can order these little things right here on Amazon, they're really cheap, you can get like 200 for a certain dollar amount, I'm not sure exactly. And then I just put a little sticker right here, it says list with me. And I knock on the door. I knock on their door and I hand it to them, and if they don't answer, because they got the Ring doorbell, I put it there, but guess what, they're not gonna miss it. Because as soon as they open that door, it's gonna drop.
And it really looks like an item of value, you know, it's not just a pad with a pen.
No,
Or,
it's,
you know,
it's
something.
value, it's true value. They call me on it and they're like, wait a second, and if she's just gonna show me this just on the CMA market, what is she gonna show me when she comes and shows it to my house? I'm really interested. So they call me, and so this is what I
What do you
drop
spend
off.
on each one?
Well, I buy them in bulk, so for these right here, I
No,
think it's.
that's nothing, it's all your print work. Your
So the
flyers.
print work, Eric, how much do we spend, where's Eric at?
Or you just want
Yeah,
to.
Yeah, of course. He's got ADHD, he can't sit very long, but I don't know, he prints up so many of these, you know, I can't really tell you that, he mostly does that, but, so this is your CMA drop off, okay? Let's talk about that. Now, let's talk about, everything is branded, so I have my little water bottles that I do when I go to open houses, so that's kind of what I set there. I wanna talk about my buyer's presentation, so when I go and I meet with the buyer, I wanna make sure that they know everything, right? So I give them a folder, it's all branded folder, my whole team gets the folders too, and we meet with the buyer, and inside of our buyer's folder, we give them a thank you card, we go through the 3 agreements. The 3 agreements is what is the purpose of a purchase, what is the purpose of a listing, and what is the purpose of a seller. Okay, so the 3 agreements is what we go, so I wanna let them know that this is what a transaction means in 3 agreements. Behind that, I just moving checklists and just some stuff that they need, a thank you card, a little folder, and then I ask them their buyer questionnaire. And then I have a questionnaire, then I have 101 things that we do, or 105 things that we do to represent you, because remember, nowadays with the commission and all that stuff, we need to make sure that we're showing value. So they get that in there, and then I also put in the 2-page. I only do the 2-page, which is I'm gonna show you houses, and then once you decide to hire me, then I put in the broker buyer agreement into that, okay? So it's a 2-page that goes in there, it's actually in here, or maybe not in here. But this is what they get when they go on an appointment with me. And then also, if we really wanna get technical, they do decide to hire me, I'm gonna invest in them, and I'm gonna give them a buyer's sheet, a buyer's book. In this booklet right here has everything to do with the entire buyer process. You can put a sheet in here and that's fine, but I go really extensive, especially if I know they're gonna hire me and they're gonna work with me, I wanna show value. But they are pricey for these, so not everybody gets one, right? Because if I'm just gonna show them and they're not really committed, they haven't made up their mind, they're not really sure. I don't always give them out, but I do give them out when I know for sure that they're gonna hire us, right? So inside here, you guys can go through it afterwards and see what's in there, but it's basically the entire process.
When you give them the buyer booklet, do you go over it with them or you just give it to them?
I go over some pages, which is really, really, really important to me, is the NAR. I go over the NAR with them, the NAR regulations. You would be surprised how many agents do not talk to them about that. And when you say, hey, do you know about this, the changes? They're like, no, I don't know anything about it. So it's really important for me to go over that with them because I want to be transparent. I want to be truthful. I want to have integrity, and I want to show that who you're hiring, that you're trusting that person. So I don't go through every single page with them. Especially you guys got to feel out your clients too. If they're a D like me, let's just get to the point. I'm not going to go through some of all of this stuff with them, especially when it comes to the CMA. I'm gonna just do over a sheet on the front that's just gonna be like the basic, because if I hand them one and it's got 12, 13 pages, they're already on page 14 and I'm still trying to get through page 1 because they don't want to, they just want to get right to it. So you have to really mirror your clients on how long they want to take. Most of my clients want to see this because they're like, how much is this gonna cost me? What are you gonna charge me for all of this? I'm like, I charge a regular commission. You know, just to have all this stuff doesn't mean that I'm gonna charge you whatever. Okay, so buyer's presentation. Here you go, Wanda, if you don't mind. Now, this is the fun part. I also specialize in divorce and probates too. So depending on their situation, if they're going through a divorce or probate, I have a little trifold on that as well. QR codes on everything that I do. And then here is the fun one that you guys are all been waiting for. So this is my seller's presentation. When I show up to a appointment, I bring this big bag with me right here, okay? This is my duffel bag. I either bring it out, but I always bring it in with me, but I might not bring everything out depending on their personality type, okay? So when I get somebody that wants to set up a appointment with me because they want to do a listing, 3 days prior to me going in to their house, I drop this off at their front door. It's got my little picture, it's got labels in there, little booties, a little sponge, notepad, a bottle of water. Just letting them know that I came by, I was thinking about them. The labels, they love the labels. They call me and they ask if they can have more. And this is 3 days prior, so this is like kind of a pre-listing, and you're thinking, I dropped this off. Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
You guys?
It's adorable.
So I do drop this off, and then when the grand finale comes, now they know they already want to meet with me, okay? They've seen my stuff, they know. In between there, I already have 22 YouTube videos already built out and thumbnails already built out. So if they're selling, how long will it take for my house to sell? And then there's how long will it die? What do I need to do to declutter my house? So the reason that I do that is, number one, video is very popular, but the second one is that it takes back time for me.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times if I gotta explain to 3 people what you need to do to declutter your house, how long that's gonna take me? Especially, do you guys remember going out to dinner, sitting at the dinner table or out eating with a bunch of friends and you get a phone call, oh, excuse me, you gotta run outside, oh, excuse me, you gotta run outside. I don't do that anymore. I'll send you the video, you can watch it 10 times. If you wanna stay up all night, you can watch it all night, I don't care. But you're gonna know exactly what to expect. So building out your YouTube videos, you guys, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do that. Building out your YouTube videos is super, super important. And we all know that people are going to YouTube now, and you can do little clips and you can send them to your YouTubes. Sonia, I know you're really familiar with all that stuff. So, but anyways, this is my listing presentation. So if I go into listing presentation, depending if they're going through a divorce or not, I have my own book. Okay. I write books like Wanda. And then the first thing I do is, and this might not be in the exact order, is I go over the 3 agreements again, why I'm here, what we're going to talk about, the purpose of a listing contract, a buyer's contract, and a seller's contract. So I go through that with them. Second thing I do is I typically have most of this already filled out already, but it's just all their information of what I already know about them. But then I may have some other questions while I'm there, okay? So I get that filled out. Then I go through the selling process with them from A to Z, where they at, what we need to do in order to get all the things that are gonna happen. So I go through that with them. Then if they really want more, which they usually do, I will go through, which is my listing presentation booklet in there. And in here has a lot of information. You guys can look through this too. So if you want to pass it around. And then finally, after I start talking to them, I know that they have not kicked me out of the house yet. Then I know that they're interested in what I have to say. Now, you guys, just so you understand, when I get to the door, I do not go and walk their house. I do not take a tour with them. I go straight to the table and I say, is there a place that we can sit down and that we can strategize and we can talk and get to know each other before we go on and move to the next steps? They're like, yeah, sure. Oh my God, you don't want to tour my house? Every 5 agents that have been through my house wants to tour my house. It's the first thing they want to do. No, I don't want to tour your house yet. No, I don't. So, but when I do tour their house, I have what's called a seller's home worksheet guidebook. Tells me everything that they've done to their house. So I have to call them and ask them in an email, sell me all your upgrades, all of that. It's basically, it's almost like disclosures, but you know who the HOA is, you know all that information. So you look like the expert. You are truly have all their information. You don't have to ask them that. So that's what I use for my workbook. Then again, now they still haven't kicked me out. They're interested. We've done the tour. Now we're gonna go over the comps, right? Because now I've got a chance to see their house, to know what upgrades they've done, to know where they are, and then now I can make adjustments accordingly if I need to. So there's the same comp thing right here. It's basically almost the same thing that you guys have. So you don't need that. And then of course we can't forget the net sheet. So I go over the net sheet with them too, let them know. Pretty much asking them during, you know, if there are any questions. In between everything that I'm doing, I'm letting them know, do you have any questions? Have I answered all of your questions? And they're always so like, I have never seen anything like this before. I have never had an agent show up to a house like this before.
I haven't either.
Yeah, no.
Did you sell this in Amazon also?
What's that?
Did you sell this in Amazon also?
No, I just only do it if I'm doing with,
Oh,
dealing,
okay.
yeah, directly. I'm not that big. So anyways, their
But
net
it's
sheet,
still
of course.
impressive.
Yeah.
Their net sheet, of course, and
You
then
designed all this? Like you literally designed?
all of it. Mhm.
You're working on this for a long time too.
Yeah, I've been doing this for 15 months, just so you guys know.
Yes. That's it?
15 months,
15 months you put all this
Oh,
together?
all this together, and I'm not even done.
Yes.
I'm not
I've been
even
watching
done.
you.
She's been watching me. When I started out basic stuff. And then I have the contract. Let me tell you how I close the contract. So I'm like, Mr. Seller, so did I go over everything with you? And how do you feel about in terms of, I answered all of your questions? And do you feel like I'm the right person that's gonna get your house sold based on all the marketing materials that I've shown you? And how much I put into this is how much I'm gonna put in and how passionate I am about selling your house. Man, I've never seen anything like this before. Where do I sign?
Yeah.
Here you go,
No
no
brainer.
problem. And if they say to me, well, you know,
About it.
I want 900,000, and I'm like, gosh, I understand. I think your house is worth 900,000, Karen.
can.
Yeah, I do. I think so too. But you know what? Data tells me this. Well, you know what? I had an agent that actually came in yesterday and told me they could get me 900,000. I get it. You know what? That's called buying the listing.
Yeah.
And you'll get a lot of agents that will come in and tell you that they'll take your listing for
I
900,000.
know your comps say 700, but I want 9.
Right.
Right.
Right. But I'm gonna tell you this, Karen. Go ahead and list with them. But in 30 days, when they come back to you for a price reduction, tell them they're fired, and here's the cancellation. Okay? All right. So listing contracts get signed, so we don't have to get to that point. Okay? And then what I
Shoot,
do
I want
is
you
a
to sell
very
my house
I
right
do.
now.
And then what I do is how to prep your house, right? So how to prep your house, give a little trifold, all these are trifolds, how to prep your home, get it ready for sale, just some basic marketing tools, what we do, send out just listed, just sold postcards, couple of little flyers in here depending on the house. Here it is, front and back, I've sold these houses. And I give them flyer boxes. You guys, I cannot tell you how many times I walk into a house and there is no flyers in the house or brochures in the house. There's nothing. I don't even, I'm like, I do a flyer box because Marlena knows I order flyer boxes every single week. I'm like, bring me 10 flyer boxes, you know? But flyer boxes, I put them in there and I do it. And I know we used to do that old school, but people somehow got lost in the transition.
And people really want flyers.
They still want, well, it's not only that, when you got buyers that are coming through, you want to take a flyer because out of sight, out of mind, right? If they don't remember that house that they looked at.
Multiple properties, or their agent is showing them multiple properties.
Exactly.
You're the only one on this flyer?
Exactly. And then, of course, if you're doing an open house, make sure you take your open house sign-in sheets with you guys. I know these things are new and we forget about them, but you really need to take them with you because they need to, because I will tell you, you are being secret shopped right now, okay? So make sure you have these. This is something that you guys are probably gonna laugh at, but I bring these with me. And let me tell you why. Am I running out of time?
Well, we're over time.
Oh, okay.
We got started a little bit late. but
Okay,
we're gonna
really
be rounding
quick.
it up.
So what I do is when it was a 6% commission, I would go through the dollar signs. I'd say, okay, Mr. Seller, here's 3% that you need to pay. And then here's 3% that my office gets, and then my broker takes all of it and maybe leaves me a couple of dollars. And then we need marketing dollars, and then I break it down, and then they understand. They usually don't hassle me on whether I want 6%, 5%, but that's changed, of course. So now it's just down to 2 or 3 of these that I take instead, and kind of explain where the marketing dollars goes, and that my broker takes a portion out of it. I really blame it on my broker mostly, to be honest. So I do that. They never harass me because now they understand how the commission is broken down. And then a couple last things that are really important. The one last thing is everybody loves options, okay? So when I go into that, I tell them, here's your options. This is what I'll do for you for this percentage, for this percentage, for this percentage. I kind of switch them around a little bit depending on, I'll manipulate it. But I give them options because everybody likes options. Well, Mr. Seller, you can go with this one, it'd be 2%, you can go with this one's 3%, or you can go with this one's 4%. You can go all up to 7%. I see people in Orange County collecting 7% commission. When somebody sees what I'm gonna do, they're like, oh, I want the middle option. So I can get 4% commission right now, just being a listing agent. And I'm getting that. I'm getting 3%, I'm getting 4%. And I only produce, to be quite honest with you, since I've been a mentor for the last few years, I'm really only about 3% to 4%. Okay, but you are well worth it. And don't go in there thinking, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna sell myself short, do the 2%, because the ones you do for 2% end up being a whole lot of freaking work. So you guys know what your worth is. I know my worth is from Jesus, but at the same time, you want to interact this with this, that you are worth what you're gonna do. And there's a lot of work that we put into this now. You guys can see all this work, money it costs, all of that, but you know what? I get just about 99% of my listings signed because of this. Okay, and I think that's really it. There's a few more little things, but you guys can just kind of go through my box. It will be up here. I just wanted to say thank you. I want to make sure I don't have anything else in here. That's basically it. So that's what I do, and my buyer's presentations, my listing presentations, CMA drop-offs are really important. I will tell you guys, just by talking to Marlena, there's only 5% of agents that are doing CMA drop-offs. That's sad. That's sad.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, any questions for me?
She's been really thorough.
Amazing, my friend, amazing.
So, you know what, I would really get out there, you guys, and do your CMA drop-offs, commit, whether you're doing 5 a week, you're doing 10 a week, whatever you're doing. It's gonna set you apart from everybody else as a community market leader. With so many agents leaving right now, you guys have such an advantage. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. I hope that you found this very valuable.
Let's do our manifesto.
Okay, we're doing manifesto, and then all of you guys, I want you guys to take one of these. Take one, pass it around. These are all the things you guys should be doing, okay? And it's basically everything that I went over. You ready?
Okay, so.
Why don't you lead? Go ahead.
Stand and repeat
Please land.
after
Yep.
Carrie. This is our success manifesto that she repeats every morning, is that right?
Every
And
single
you have on your,
morning.
and you have it on your clock.
I have it on my phone, but I'm gonna go ahead and read it.
She'll read the
here.
first line, you repeat, okay?
Okay, we're all gonna repeat this and say this together, okay? Ready, go. I am capable of anything that I set my mind to. I am a top producer and a community market leader. I attract success, abundance, and positivity. Every day I build, I trust, provide value, and empower those around me. I am unstoppable. I am resilient. I overcome challenges with grace. I am confident, disciplined, and worthy of success. I lead with integrity, gratitude, and great action.
Today I step forward with courage, knowing I'm destined for greatness.
I am a community market leader. I am resourceful and resilient. I lead with grace.
The quote by John Maxwell about teamwork.
Okay, let's pause here.
Okay,
So this is a quote by John Maxwell that I use all the time. Teamwork makes dream work. The phrase is widely attributed to him and emphasizes the idea that achieving big goals and dreams is best accomplished through collaboration, working together as a team and as a community. Great coaches make the team better, the community, and collaboration, making talent becomes bigger and better, bigger and better than solo. Find the team that makes you better. So I want to just say one thing to you guys that I want to contribute a lot to Miss Wanda Peyton. Miss Wanda Peyton, because she's been my coach for 20 years, and I've had a few other productivity coaches, but she has really, really impacted my life. I probably wouldn't be sober if it wasn't for her telling me one day, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I called her, I've been hungover, I went out and drinking, and she's like, girl, this shit's gotta stop. And I'm like,
sometimes you gotta just lay it out.
this girl just doesn't stop. And we didn't talk for 3 months, and it wasn't because she didn't want to talk to me. It was tough love. And that was the biggest learning thing that I ever could have done. And so for that, I'm grateful for. And the fact that she brings so much value to the space of real estate. And I know that most of my team coaches with her one-on-one. They go through a 4-week program with her because I know she knows that mindset and all those things. And I continue to work with her. She's been part of my business for the last 20-something years, and it's continuing to grow. We come up with different things, innovation, and you have to take immediate action. So thank you again for having me.
Let's give her some. Thank you so much, Carrie. So we're speaking of John Maxwell, and I had written this right before you added your manifesto, that success is knowing your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximum potential, and sowing seeds that benefit others. That's what I try to do. That's what turns me on. So in closing.
I forgot the Popeye.
Oh.
So a little Popeye, it's a candle, a little something with my business.
Oh, cool, yeah. In closing, please hear me. I'd like to share that for me, preparing, practicing, and presenting this content for the last 10 sessions, and now 11, has been incredibly gratifying. Watching each of you as you come to class, learn, grow, activate some of these strategies is just deeply fulfilling for me. You have no idea. To make a difference in someone else's life is is the top of my purpose. It's a very, 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 and those of you who've done it, you know what it feels like. So I just want to give a heartfelt thank you to Jennifer Buzzi and Sonia Orozco. Classes the last 10 weeks. Okay? God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you so much.